Boy. Hey, how's it going there, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Holy mackerel. It's good to see y'all. I'm going to have a little word from our sponsors here real quick, and then we're going to move this party into the kitchen. And we're going to double down. Made hamburger steak last night. I'm going to do it again tonight. The picture in the thumbnail is from the hamburger steak we made last night. I'm doing tonight's dish a little differently. Very similar, but a little different. All right, what's up, Jade? Good to see you, dog. Doubling down, that's right. Honestly, I still got everything on that I was wearing earlier, which I guess that's not too bad. I usually would change clothes. Hell yeah, thank you, Jade. Laura Palmer. I wore it in the movie shoot. I wanted to do that. Make sure I wore it in the shoot. But I don't want to be walking around on my pants legs while I'm cooking. Give me just a second. Hold everything. Like the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't. We are going to be playing some Skyrim. Momentarily. But not before we eat. We got to eat first. That's top priority. Is getting the food going. Top priority is getting the food going. All right. We're not doing multicam stream. It's just, like I said, for hamburger steak, man. Like we might be able to. We might be able to. That's the way. Oh yeah, I definitely need Skyrim stamina. I also need to season this. Season that pan. Gonna season with canola oil. You can really season with anything. I prefer seasoning the pan with Crisco, which is like lard or like a vegetable. It might even be vegetable lard, but I don't think it is. I think like just animal fat, any kind of good healthy fat. But canola oil is just kind of what I got the most of here. Re-season it from using it last night. Make it all shiny and new again. Right before we introduce the heat to it. And once we get it seasoned good, I'm going to take the same paper towel and go in here. Make sure to wipe up the excess on the surface. And yeah, your paper towel is going to look like that when you wipe it down. But that's cast iron for you, dude. It's It's greater than. You just gotta trust me. Okay, maybe I'll leave that there. I might use that in case instead of the olive oil because I'm running low on olive oil and I gotta get more of that. That onion should be enough, maybe. And that rice cooker. Or is this a bigger onion? I want to use the bigger onion. This is a bigger onion for sure. I want more onion. I honestly wouldn't mind doing an onion and a half. I'm going to do that whole onion and half of this small onion because I want more onion. Right. Gotta find out how much rice we're working with here. Hell yeah, brothers and sisters in Christ. Brothers and sisters in rice. Cup and a half, how about that? Perfect. I'm going to do an extra half of an onion. I might do both of these onions, to be honest with you. I don't really need to do that, but do we need to do anything that we do? Like the video, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. I wonder if I can do that cool little basketball twirl thing with this. No, I can't. Big onion shell right there to put all the little shell stuff in. We just gotta be quick about chopping these suckers. Because the more time you take, the more it's gonna make you cry. Went all the way through. Why is it not? Did it not go all the way through? So far, so good. The layer is coming off nicely, just like it's supposed to on both sides. So far, so good. Big onion. Let's make this go as smooth. onion trash goes in the trash. We'll get the rest of the onion trash in a minute. Fuck it, let's just do both of these onions. Why not? What's it gonna hurt? What's it gonna hurt? All right. The tears are starting now, which is a good time for them to start because I'm done chopping. Which I don't know if you guys know about. You guys know about people that cook. We love chopping. I like all the nocturnes. Pan getting hot. So pan can get hot, onions are chopped and ready to go in. We can see those guys over here. I think this is a one pan dish, right? That sounds right to me. So we get enough butter to get us through the whole dish. We'll go ahead and get our hamburger meat out of here. And we're gonna wait to put the butter in the pan until that sucker's hot. I'm also gonna hit it with a little canola oil. I got up last night and made myself a little late night snack. Grilled cheese with pickles. Any y'all ever do a grilled cheese with pickles? Good. I like pickles. Go ahead and get me a little knob. That'll be enough to start with for sure. While we're waiting on that to heat up, we're only doing a cup and a half of rice, and it'll take the gravy a minute, so we'll start washing the rice whenever we put the meat down. Got the same mixing bowl from last night, the same knife I used last night to cut this guy open. Go. Get that in there. Wash this knife. Now the seasoning on the meat, I'm doing the same exact way. I am seasoning this thing same way I did last night. So, dry the hands, because they are about to get messy. Make sure they're clean before you do this and after. Please like the video if you haven't yet. Thanks for hanging out. We are going to game tonight. It'll be a little later. The Lowry's going in. Here, you guys want to get a closer look at this process? Yeah, I'm dill pickle. I do not like bread and butter pickles. Sweet pickle has no place in my dish. I don't like a sweet pickle. Yeah, just not a fan at all of a sweet pickle. I'm going heavy on the pepper, as you guys can tell. I went kind of heavy on the seasoned salt down there. You can see in the bottom. All that's going to get mixed up in there. And to be perfectly honest, I kind of go heavy on all the seasonings. I don't do this with any other cut of beef. Any other cut of beef, I will not go this heavy on the seasoning. But for hamburger meat, like it's hamburger meat. So I'm gonna need all of these seasonings back whenever I go to make the I'm gonna go ahead and get this cap off of this. I'm not ready for it yet. But last night I struggled getting the cap off. All right, and then you just go in here and you just kind of squeeze this shit all together. Swirl it through the bottom. And just kind of just ball up your fist and just squeeze the shit out of this until it's like, until you feel like you've incorporated all the seasoning. Which to me feels like about right now. So now, going with my wet ingredient, and I love Worcestershire sauce. It's just such a nice little tangy, it's such a nice little tangy flavor for the meat. And then so now we're just gonna start packing this thing all together here. Okay, it's splitting right there. So I'm gonna get ahead of that and just that cast iron's probably hot enough for some butter at this point. And then, you know, we kind of got a nice little, pretty thick. Oh, can you guys see what I'm doing here? I didn't even notice I was out of frame. Sorry. And you got like a, it's like a pretty thick patty. And then digging it out a little bit. There we go. So now I use the backs of my hands and my feet to wash my hands. Ooh. Ooh. We're limber for our age. Thank you guys for watching. Please like the video if you haven't. It costs you nothing, helps me immensely, and I'd appreciate it. Unless you don't like the video, then, you know, Don't lie. Don't be a liar. I don't want you to go and commit a sin on my behalf. I don't want you to go sinning on my behalf. I don't want you to have to go back to church and talk to the fella in the little room. Talk to the fella in the closet, no pun intended. Tell him that you you told a lie on YouTube. How about this right here? Ooh. Hot cast iron. Go ahead and get that. Let's get this guy here going. Whoa, not that much. That's enough there. And a little cannoli oil to keep the butter from burning. And then, bam. You guys like that move? I'll tell you what, you guys keep an eye on them onions there for a second. Let me wash this knife and cutting board here. You guys don't let nothing weird happen to those onions, okay? That's all I ask of you. Now I can stand and knock them around a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a lot of onions. That's good. I'm liking that. I like having too much onions. And plus, I don't do a lot of vegetables, which I really need. I was talking to Janice about that earlier outside at the people show out there on the left. All right, while onions are doing their thing there, I'm gonna live life on the edge, y'all. Give it a little more of that sweet butter. A lot of people will see the way that I cook and be like, wow, super unhealthy. I know, I know that. But every time you've gone to a restaurant and you're like, wow, that is the best insert here that you've ever had, it's because they use a lot of butter and stuff. So while the onions are doing their thing, how about, there it is. See, that's the only thing about this old selfie stick that I'm using. I got to get another one, but y'all, spoiler alert, I'm broke. And for the foreseeable future. So I'll get another selfie stick to record with soon. Dude, you know what sucks is I'm so broke that like my PayPal is overdrawn somehow. I didn't even know you could do that, but yeah, my PayPal got overdrawn. So even now my Frankie tips are being like held back. So like those little like $4 payments from Patreon or those couple of Frankie tips that we would get, like I'm not even able to get access to that right now. Kind of really sucks because I sort of count on those little midweek things. What can you do? Smack it a little bit, make it clump up into one unit so it holds itself together and the water can come out. There we go. That's enough. This is a little baby amount of rice. Do the rice in water and we'll do the gravy and chicken stock. Sound good to y'all? Sounds good to me. You know what? It's actually better to. This is just a better angle all around. Nice color on these now, so now is a good time for me to maybe season them up. Solid pinch and a solid amount of pepper. And that's that for that. I'm gonna leave that doing its thing. How about a little tea? Maybe a little tea action. What's up, Rhino? Bam. Tea is so much better the next day, dude. And now they're ready for the wet ingredient. A little Worcestershire. gonna let those onions do their thing for just a moment without me touching them. I'm gonna have a word from our sponsors, because I think when I go to disturb them once more, that they will be yeah, the next time I go to move them around, they'll be nice nice and crispy on the bottom part. It was nice and packed at Sunset tonight. It was a good crowd in there. I'm sorry I had the camera twisted. You guys might have noticed that during my set it moved a little bit. That was Brother Yoni, producer for Kill Tony, had Red Band said, yeah, I told Yoni to go out there and fix your camera because it was crooked. Much like it is now. It's crooked now. But I was kind of running short on time. And I was trying to get it up, and usually there's nobody right at that table whenever I'm setting the camera up at that time, but there was today because it was a little busier. So just having people there, and I'm not able to like maneuver my way around. What's up, Bradley? I wasn't able to maneuver my way around there comfortably like I would have liked. All right. Guys, make sure to like the video if you haven't yet, and please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out immensely, and it costs you not a dime. That's just a cool thing to do. We got these onions right here, and here, let's see. You guys see how nice and dark they got from that Worcestershire sauce? So I'm just going to just disturb all of these onions right here. And keep them. I'm gonna waller out a spot here in the middle. And y'all know what that's for. This is the hot spot of the pan. That middle part. And call me a fat fuck, but I'm gonna do this right here. That little pat of butter right in the middle. And then this guy. Peel them away with the fork here. Bam. That's how you do that. And we will be doing games in a little bit. This won't take very long to cook. It's probably, what, 12:30 now? Oh shit, it's only 12:10. Dude, we're making great time. Okay, so yeah, that means that we should be done by 12:30. We should be gaming by 1. But that's a loose, what's the word I'm looking for there? We're not following that very strictly. So, what I want to do here, and I'm keeping a lot of these onions over here on the side to just stay warm, because this is the cooler part of the skillet here. So I guess what I could do now is go ahead and prepare my gravy mix. I'll tell you what, if you guys, I haven't done a close-up of this yet. A 1 pound smash burger? Yeah, that's basically what a hamburger steak really is. It's just a giant smash burger. So here's here's my all the seasoning and stuff come from over there. So first thing we do is go in and get us some flour. And I eyeball it for the amount of gravy I'm going to make. I'll probably need about that much flour. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a little bit more because I want to make more gravy. Just a tiny bit. So yeah, that's actually more flour than I usually use, but I want to make extra gravy. All right, so with this, my gravy mix, salt, seasoned salt, actually Lawry's. That's nice. Good bit of pepper. A little more pepper than salt. Good bit of garlic powder. And even though we're using onions in the pan, I'm still hitting it with a bit of onion powder. Into that, I'm going to pick up one of these skewers here and just give it a stir. And there's that mixed together. So that's my gravy mix. I don't know how much flour I used. I don't know I don't know those numbers or anything like that. I don't know. I would say if I had to guess, trying to keep these back like as far up the side of the pan as I can. Because they're nice and oiled, they're gonna keep sliding back down, but I think we might could flip this sucker, could we? Oh yeah, it's released already. So use the back of the fork for help. Look at that. Look at that right there. That's exactly what you want. Check this out. That's what you want the top to look like right there when you flip it. Like that's exactly what you're going for. There's an even, you can tell there's like that all the way across. The heat got all the way across and it was doing what it should have done. That's what you're looking for. So now is where I get the plate, because I'm going to start thinking about taking them onions out in a minute. I'm going to start the rice around when I get ready to just a little before I start the gravy. I'm going to start the rice. So that'll be in a minute. I'm going to make sure to get all that, all the bottom of that. I want it to have a nice, sear on the bottom as well, but it's going to be a little harder because this side went down on just butter on the pan. Now the other side is going down in a pan, so the other side is going to be cooked. It won't be crispy like this because it's being cooked in its own fat, basically, which is the goal. Like that's, as flavor goes, that's the best thing you can hope for. Got our gravy mix. I'm probably going to put about that much butter down when we go make the gravy. I might not need to put any butter down at all. I'll make that decision when I see what kind of liquids we're working with. Which last night we had a pretty good bit of liquid left in there, so I might not need any of the butter at all, but like I know that'll add to the richness of it. All right, I think it's time to pull these onions up now. Well, first, just get them all together here. Bam. And of course, there's going to be some little onion crispies that hang around the edge here. We might leave that. Hell yeah, let's just leave that in there. I'm going to get a little aluminum foil ready. I'm gonna wrap this sucker up, keep it hot in just a minute. Give it one more mash. Now I'm going to start my rice. Rice is going. That'll be, hell yeah, 8 and 8. I love it when they match, the viewers and the likes. Sweet. Thank you. Good job, guys. Ready to see the undercarriage here? Well, I lied. It didn't get crispy like that. How about that? I think that's enough to convince me that this is ready. I'm gonna drip it. There, pinch the corners, wrap the sides. All right, and then now I'm going straight into this part right here. You can hang out in here, buddy. I don't need you right yet. And honestly, this is wild, but I think I'm going to go a little bit more flour. Just a tad bit more. I think that'll be enough to change the outcome a bit. And here, you guys see this. I know this is what you're here for. Everybody loves the gravy. So you guys are noticing that it's already turned from that. You can see the white, the bubbles of the white over here, but I want to cook this until it becomes like a paste, if you will. I don't want to scald it. I do need to grab, I'm using chicken stock for the gravy. honestly, this is still a little runny. I know this is crazy, but I've got to hit it with a little more flour, man. I should. Because this is going to end up being like, I'm going to have a good bit of gravy left. I'm glad I didn't add that knob of butter because I've got too much. I need it to turn into like a paste first. You know? Like this in the middle, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want that runny thing on the side. That y'all know Pootie Tang knows what he's talking about. Y'all don't want the runny kind. Anybody get that reference? So this is more what I'm going for. That paste, you see? So now I want to keep cooking this until I'm sure that like all that flour taste is gone. And all it has is this flavor I'm pulling off of the bottom. That's more like it right there. And to me, that looks like all of the I shook that up already. So now we're just gonna there we go. Now you guys remember what I said the last time that we made a gravy like this is, you see how that looks like gravy already? You don't want it to look like gravy yet. So I'm gonna need a lot more liquid. So I'm just using this much chicken broth. And then I'm gonna have to use a good bit more water. Some people will say milk. I don't want milk. I don't want a sweet gravy. I want a savory gravy. Sweet gravy is for breakfast. Okay, you do your thing right there for just a second. I need some more water in this thing. We're going to have a lot of gravy left over. But me and Netflix were talking about this the other day about making gravies and stuff like that. It's just like one day he wants to make a lot of gravy and just have a lot of gravy. I'm in favor of that, dude. All right, we don't want that consistency yet. We want it to get runny. It was just, so you want, gravy's an interesting thing because you want to cook it in the beginning until it doesn't have a runny consistency. And then at the end, or in the middle, you want to get it to where it is a runny consistency. And at the end, you want to get it to that second part, right when you add the first batch of liquid to it. Like this is how I think the gravy should be. That's about the consistency I think we're going to be looking for. Like I'm not feeling a lot of resistance anywhere in here when I stir. Your fork is your 11th finger. use it to feel. And I'm not feeling any resistance in here to any of the, maybe I'll give it just a little more water. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for there. And then we just stir this shit until it starts bubbling in the middle. But the trick with gravy, in the beginning part and in this part, is you don't want to let it sit still for too long. Because if you scald gravy, the whole thing's bad. You can't get that flavor out of it if it's scalded. You can burn something on the pan and then use that to make your gravy. And that'll be a lot more forgiving than burning your actual gravy. And I bet if I stop, it'll start bubbling immediately, huh? We haven't got a 10-minute warning on the rice yet. I'll give it a second to bubble while I fill myself a glass of tea. And I don't know if it's going to be good, but at least I know it was done right. Whether or not it's good could be blamed on a lot of different factors, but if you follow pretty much these steps, flour, you don't even have to season the flour. That's just an extra step I go because I don't know if I just have a bad palate and I just need extra seasoning on everything. But I may even over season a little bit, but that's how I don't know. That's just how I like it. And you guys see it's turning, this gravy is turned into a nice like milk chocolate. It's almost the color of a cream gravy. I'm getting a lot of steam up here in the glasses. So do we got 10 minutes yet? Nope, not yet. Should be any second now though, because cup and a half of rice shouldn't take too long to cook. Neither did this. We're still at 12:36. I figured we'd be done cooking by 12:30, so I'm only 10 minutes off from that right now. Give or take 15 minutes probably. I'm waiting for that rice to give me that 10-minute warning. Once I get the 10-minute warning from the rice, I'm gonna cut the heat for 5 of those 10 minutes. And then I'm going to remove the heat. I'm gonna bring it halfway down any minute now. I'm just keeping it moving because now it's like, you can see it's bubbling as I'm stirring. So we're just keeping it moving. Hope you guys are having fun out there in the chat. I'll be able to communicate with you. When I can look at the chat. You know what? I'm kind of like, I haven't got, you know what? This is crazy. But I just feel the need to add just a little more water. That water will cool it down a little bit because it seems like it's taking this rice a little bit longer to cook than I anticipated. So now I'm going to leave it there with that cool water that Davidoff and let it come back to that bubble. Because when the reason I did that, by the way, is because I started to feel like a little thickness in it, and it shouldn't be thickening up when it's still on the same level of heat that it had been on. So like it being a little runny at this point is a little more of what I wanted it to get to. I just could feel it thickening up around the edges, and I did add a good bit of flour. And I don't want to get to the end and be like, I can taste the extra flour that wasn't countered by the extra liquid. But yep, this is the fun part. Just keep stirring. Stir your ever-loving life away. Stir, 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 stir. When I eat food, it's what I like, and I need food. Every night, whenever I want food, all I have to do is stir. Stir, 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 stir. All right, and we still haven't gotten that timer on the rice yet. I'm still holding out, and any minute or any second, it honestly should flip to the 10-minute thing. Okay, finally. Now we're dropping this to 2.5, from 5 to 2.5. Smelling it, it smells nice, but a hamburger, okay. So I've said this before. Hamburger meat yields the least tasty gravy of all of the meats. I'm reminded of that when I smell it, because I'm like, oh, it just smells like hamburger meat. So this gravy is naturally just not gonna be the same thing as like the pork gravy that I make, but what will help this out a lot is the fact that we used chicken broth at the beginning to create the paste. And then pretty much cut that paste down with water. Water should start boiling out here, and I'm going to give it a second to actually tell you what, I've dropped the heat. So we're going to let it just reach a boil and cook a little bit more of that water that I put in out, which is part of the process. You might say, oh, well, if you're just going to cook some of the water out, why did you put more in? Fair point, but the water cooking out of the gravy is part of the process. So if there's not enough water in it when that process starts, it'll just end up like it'll just end up kind of dried out, if that makes any sense. And I don't want that. I want it to be like I want it to be perfect. And it's going to be, because to be honest, like, I cook things the way that I like them. I've never cooked something that I didn't like to eat, at least. I was about to say I've never cooked anything I didn't like, which isn't true. You guys have seen me do that. All right, and that's about as long as you want to leave. Reduction is science, exactly. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, that's a thing. So now, see that film on top that is starting to build? And now I'm just releasing that from the bottom. What is it now? 6 minutes. So whenever we get all right, and it's got to be at 5 minutes now, so I'm just killing the heat on this. All right, so there's that. Now we're just gonna let that gravy sit for a while. Hey, 11:11, look, we did it. What's up, Gary Panisse? Watch out, brother. You mean to act like I don't know how to use my wrist? Come on, man. Wristy business. Got him. Getting to that point, there's too much gravy in here for it to do that thing yet. But yeah, because I added so much, hell yeah, black shirt, watch out. I wore this tonight because I wanted to, there's a fun scene in the movie, and once you see the movie, it'll make sense, but this will be like a nice little Easter egg. And the director mentioned it the second he saw it. Oh, Laura Palmer. And then somebody walking by as I was standing out front when I was leaving Twin Peaks. I was like, yeah, thank you. Nobody gets it. You know what? Just for the last little bit, I'm going to put this sucker back up to like medium heat. There's 2 minutes left on the rice. I'm going to let it reduce a little bit more. I was talking one of these things about like alarms that will go off, like dish alarms. Like, not an alarm that you can set, but something that you can, like something that your dish will tell you. For some reason, I thought it was telling me it needed more water at that point because I was feeling a little thickness in a time during the cooking process where I didn't want that yet. Just bringing the heat back up there at the last minute a little, just for a couple of minutes while this rice is finishing. And it's still hot. I can touch it, but it's still hot. There's the rice. This rice, you know what I'm going to do with this rice is I'm going to use that knob of butter that I didn't use in here. I'm going to bless this rice with it. Right in there. And I need a thing that I don't have. Oh, I could probably use one of these things to mix the rice with. That'll work. separate it all in here sideways. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm just talking out loud, thinking out loud. Got that. All right, now I can kill the heat comfortably. I'm actually going to pull this off that hot eye. Now, a moment of truth. I don't want to burn my face off, Frankie. Ooh, really? So, I'm happy to announce that I've solved the problem of the hamburger meat taste in the gravy, and that is to just use chicken broth, because that really zhuzhes it up a lot. Like, this is almost awesome. I can still taste the hamburger meat in it, which makes it not awesome, but it's almost awesome. It's very close to awesome. That's awesome. The fact that we figured out the whole chicken broth really helps this out. I mean, all right. So to show you guys the difference, see that? It's like barely dripping. It might drip a little bit, but it's not. You see, it's just hanging on like that. That's the difference in temperature, because it's all the same stuff. The same stuff that's in the gravy is around the edge. It's just a different temperature. Which when it cools off, that's the consistency it'll become. No flour taste. A little salt. A little piece of salt, because I use coarse salt for the onions, so surely some of that stayed around. That might be what, because Netflix said he took a bite the other day and it was like, wow, that's really salty. He might have just got a bite of one of the little salt crystals, because that's what just happened to me. It was very nice though. The flavor's all there. Rice in a bowl. Which is hard to do with a utensil used to spread frosting on top of cakes. I see it here. I want to show you guys. This is one of my favorite things right here. See that? You see how it's kind of like it's connected? You see you're pulling through it? That, I love that. That you're like pulling through that stuff. That is so nice, guys. Now you see that it's cooling off. You see the consistency we're getting at? Where you can scrape to the bottom of the pan and see there's nothing on it. And as unhealthy as they are, during like war times and Depression era folk, not a single portion of of your dish went to waste. Even the drippings left behind went into a delicious topping for all of your meal. Like, so we got that. And this gravy doesn't need any more grease. Where is a good... Here's the guy I'm looking for. So first, I'm gonna gravy my rice. So, here's this over here. And then, oh, you guys want the money shot, I know it. And folks, that's the dish. Bring you guys around here. Uh-oh. There we go. We got to get the angles working for us. There we go. Until I get back, I'm going to fill up my tea jug. Got gravy left. You know that sound that's been stressing you out and you couldn't tell why? Well, now it's done. Now it's over. I'm gonna do this first bite like that, full flavor. All rice and all gravy on top, not mixed, separated still. Dude, this gravy is like cheat code. The dude, the chicken stock and the gravy, big help. I'm not, you guys know I would tell you, because I've told you the last couple times, like I've made some of the best gravy I've ever made before. These last few times I've made it. This isn't one of the best times I've ever made it, but it's damn good gravy. Good gravy. Now, get it mixed all together so that the rice and the gravy aren't separate but one, which is what I like. Some people like, oh, I just like to take rice and dip it in the gravy. And I'm just like, come on, live a little, brother. Live a little, will you? Effing live a little, will you? Hell yeah, what's up, Nicholas? Then just a big old scoop of onion here. And then a steak with the gravy on it, and hamburger steak with the gravy. Boy, you better hush. It ain't right for something to taste that good right here. Well, honestly, I'm not missing any other flavors at all. Like a good bite with the gravy and the onion. Yeah, that good bite right there. That's a bite. Good Lord. You a Hungarican? For these onions, though. Bam, a lamb. Big old bite. Man. I've been bragging on myself too much lately, dude, but like, I really think I've mastered the art of making gravy. Blah, blah, blah. I got some onions and gravy on top of the rice and gravy. Dude, why is this so good? Like, it's, nothing needs to be added. There's nothing here I could take away. Maybe. Hold on. Let me see something. Get a couple of nice pieces of onion here. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I was gonna say maybe I went a little too heavy on the Worcestershire and the meat and on the onions, but it only comes through on the back end, really. Like when I'm eating it, the flavors of everything else overpowers the Worcestershire, but the Worcestershire is sort of a back end thing, which I think is like sort of the horseradish thing. I'm not too big of a fan of. Got him. But I think that is something that the horseradish flavor does, is it's more of a back end, like you get it on the way out and in. So, this is a lot of food. It seems like a lot more food to someone other than me, but I only have one real meal a day. And like, I might have a snack or something at the worst time before I go to sleep, but only one real meal a day. And last night, like I had to come back and do a couple of grilled cheeses because just the hamburger steak and the onions did not satisfy me all the way. So adding the rice this time is going to fill me up more, which I like. Get these onions up. I was sitting there thinking like, man, I'm gonna have so much onions left. But these are so good, I'm just crushing them. By the way, here's a trick for you. I usually take my paper towels, and when I use the top part, wipe my mouth, and fold that over. And I just keep doing that until I've gotten to the bottom. It's a way to stretch a paper towel a little further. Let's make my nose run. Combos. Yeah, I could, and I would have, honestly. Garlic would have played a much larger role in this dish. But that's one of the things I've got on the list to re-up whenever my YouTube payment comes through on the 21st, which I'm very excited for, guys. This will be literally that wasn't directed at any of you. Like 4 months running of having YouTube monetization pay for my actual groceries. So on the 21st, I'm gonna go and restock the freezer, get the meats, but I need more garlic. Minced garlic. Hell yeah, Velvet. If you guys haven't guessed it yet, it's 1:15. We're gonna be playing some video games here in a little bit. We may do virtual Red Band tomorrow night. It's what Red Band said as I was leaving earlier. So I think he pretty much he was telling me so that I could relay to you guys that like this weekend, it's happening this weekend. He's been busy spending more time at the club. And I gotta be honest, you guys, it's been a breath of fresh air having that guy around. The club, dude. It's positive energy. You got it. Oh boy. Well, hamburger steak down, onions down, rice and gravy, TBD. Man. Oh, I just thought about shit. I was just trying to see how much battery I have left. I accidentally opened my buddy's Twitch stream from a notification. The best flavor of potato chip. It might not be popular in a lot of places, but I gotta say my favorite flavor of chip, I believe, is the Utz crab chip. Best brand? Utz is strong. It's hard to pick against Utz, but it's not like a cheesy Lay's or Ruffles answer. Miss Vicky's is strong. Kettle is a good brand. I like Kettle a lot. But yeah, I think I gotta go with Utz. Hers. Hers is good. Herrs. Hers has crazy. They have like barbecue ribs, ketchup flavor, pickle flavor, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger flavor. I mean, if you're asking me, I definitely eat Pringles more often than any other chip for sure. Not in America, Jade. In America, them suckers are still. There's actually a bigger can than they used to come in. But I definitely eat more Pringles than any other chip, but I still stand by what I said. Like, for a chain type, well, I guess they all are, but like for a very popular brand, I think Pringles is the best of the popular brands. Oh, really? That's funny. They did shiest us out of some pickle. I mean, some Pringle then. You know what? I'm actually gonna there's only a little bit of rice left. I'm gonna eat the rest of this rice with some gravy. By a little bit, I mean like pretty much a bowl full. But it's definitely not worth definitely not worth putting away and keeping. This gravy is thickened up nicely now. So I might not really have much gravy to keep either. But this was the goal. I guess tomorrow, watch out. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. Probably maybe hot dogs tomorrow. I don't know. Just trying to think. I think that's all I got thought out in there. Ready to go. I think the only other thing I have is more hamburger meat, so I got to figure out another way to do that because hamburger steaks ain't happening again. I've had those 2 days in a row. Maybe just make actual burgers, but then I'd have to get buns. I'm trying to do something that I've got here. I wonder if I've got like a box of something, like a hamburger helper or something in there, maybe. Hell yeah, dude. I bet they make sure to mention that in the commercials that they show you. To make you feel more comfortable buying the product. Oh. Oh, they're good. They use our potatoes. Sabritas. You know what, man? Takis are also pretty good. You guys have Takis where you guys are? Takis, Takis? My hot and spicy Takis are good. Dude, they're good. Takis fucking rule. I made, with the gravy, I made all the right decisions at the right time. To add that little bit of water that I wouldn't have added, great call. To add the little bit more flour at the beginning, all those little decisions that I made, that's the part about cooking that not a lot of people will like try to teach, is how to alter, like how to change your mind. You know, usually you'll have these cooking shows that'll have like, you're gonna use exactly this much and exactly this much, blah, blah, yeah. Like, cooking don't really, for me, cooking has never really gone like that. So you know exactly how much you're gonna do. And honestly, those times when I use like the exact measurements that a recipe calls for or whatever, like this and that, it always turns out like, did I had to alter it in some way, added something more or something less. I don't know. I really do need to see if my phone's gonna die though. %5. Oh wow. Okay. So I got 5%. I gotta get out of here pretty quick. But you gotta be able to, you gotta learn how to like deal with changes when something goes wrong. Or learn how to adapt. All right. Cooking is like an art. The dish is a canvas that you can create, like Bob Ross says, as corny as it is, in that world, you are God. You're God in that world. You have absolute control, absolute knowledge. You are God in that world. And you have the power to create anything you want. Food is like that. You can do anything you want. And just like Bob Ross, you see a Bob Ross painting, there no two of them are the same. All of them follow the same rules. No two are the same, but he's using a lot of the same ingredients. Your phthalo green, your yellow ochre, your Van Dyke brown. It's my favorite color. You're using a lot of the same things. It's like a lot of dishes, they'll have a similar feel to them. Like you can taste something like, ooh, this has that same vibe to it. Oh. Oh, this gravy's, oh, that gravy. That gravy got a little bit more grease than you planned on. That's okay. It's all right. Let's just put a little more flour in there. That's right. We'll just cook that flour right on down. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your gravy's a little thicker than you thought of. That's okay. Let's just put a little water in there to thin it out. You never make a mistake in this that you can't come back from. That's not entirely true with cooking. You can make mistakes you can't come back from, but the similarities are in any form of art. It's cooking is an art. It's art. I'll fight you over this. That wasn't directed at any of you. It's art. Okay. Last bite of rice. Paper towel. Last fold. That's right. You don't want that brown gruel. You don't want grog. Dude, same thing, Jason, that I say about guitar players. I can pick up, I could pick up Eddie Van Halen's guitar and play it through his amp with his settings, and it would still sound like me. Eddie Van Halen could pick up my guitar, play it through my settings with my amp, and it would still sound like him. Artists have a vibe. They have a sound, they have a taste. If it's cooking, they have a style. If it's painting, you can see someone's work. You can recognize the style of someone's work outside of or outside of anything else. Cooking's like that, and I have a style. I think it's overseasoned for a lot of people, but for me, that's how I like my food. And I know there's other people out there like me, so there you go. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna wash these dishes. It'll probably take me 20, 25 minutes. You guys wanna meet up and play some games at about 2 a.m. my time? That sound good? So yeah, if you guys wanna go take a little break, to quote Redman, go walk your dog. Go fix yourself a drink. Go take a quick shower. Go to your bathroom. Go start a little laundry if you need to. I could stand and do some laundry tonight. We'll see. That'll be a game time decision. I might do some laundry here in a minute and use the gaming as an excuse to give me something to do while I'm waiting on laundry. Yeah, go release the chocolate porpoise. Do whatever you got to do. Let's meet back in about 20 minutes, give or take, maybe a little longer than that, 20 minutes to 20, 30 minutes, and we'll play some games. Sound good? Roll Tide. Thank y'all for hanging out. Like the video on the way out, and I will see y'all here in a little bit on the big stream over in the game center. Okay? Go watch The Secret Show if you haven't seen that yet. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry the camera was crooked. Brother Yoni tried to fix it best he could, but that was on me. I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed the content anyway. All right, Roll Tide, guys.